So Vijay, are you also living that dream, born Telugu, ruling India?
I'm like this very angry boy.
Really?
First passion of being a bus driver. I thought it was the coolest thing.
We were almost same. I thought of becoming a pilot. Hi Vijay, welcome to Duologue.
Thank you, Barun.
You remember that line? Puttindi Telugu Gaddappa, Yelutundi Deshani.
Yeah, wasn't it the campaign TV9 ran when you guys made it like number one across
That's
the country?
right. Born Telugu, ruling India. But isn't it the story of Telugu film industry also? I mean, starting with Bahubali, RRR, Pushpa, the graph is only going up.
It's definitely a great time for Telugu cinema. Bahubali showed us all what was possible with making cinema for the country, that it was possible to dream, to tell a story to an entire country, and that you would get love from the country. And somewhere it gave us all this dream that we could pursue. And I think what we are doing now with Liger is also kind of in that footsteps, in that path that Bahubali opened. And Telugu cinema has been doing really well, which is a moment of pride for me as a Telugu boy.
So Vijay, are you also living that dream, born Telugu, ruling India?
I don't think I'm ruling.
No, dream. That's why.
Yeah, that's a dream to be, as in the kind of love you've got from each part of the country has really, it's actually sobered me down in some sort of way. I'm like this very angry boy.
Really? We'll come to that.
Yeah, we'll come to that later. But it's a great time.
Right. You made your debut, about 10 years back, 11 years back, 2011? No, I do know that you made some debut on television as a child actor, didn't you?
Yeah.
So the movie debut is 2011.
I think you will know it better. I'm not very aware of the dates.
Novella.
Yeah. So Novella was something I did fresh out of theater. It was you know what? I've done like a bunch of like small roles and supporting roles and stuff, which I'm not very proud of or happy with. I did it because you needed to do something, and otherwise family back home would ask you to go do an MBA or write a bank exam, which I didn't want to do. So I needed to show them that
you're good enough to do that. Let me tell you.
Good enough to do that, but I didn't want to for some reason. I just felt like I wanted to do something exciting and something big in some sort of way.
So Pelli Chupolu was your first solo. Right?
That I consider as my debut.
That's your first solo.
That's the first piece of... Actually, there was another film that I did called Vijay Deverakonda just before Pelli Chupolu, which I'm proud of. But I think Pelli Chupolu was my debut as a leading actor in cinema.
Some kind of a completely different role compared to Arjun Reddy. That's your big league, right? Arjun Reddy?
Yeah, Arjun Reddy was the thing that brought the nation's attention. Yeah, it brought a lot of attention to me.
Everybody, even the non-Telugu speaking people. I mean, there's a colleague of mine, young chap, he keeps talking about he watched Arjun Reddy. He's a North Indian.
Yeah.
So it actually made a national sensation. So how much was it by design and how much was it by default, that making of Vijay Deverakonda? Who brought you to acting?
Acting was something that I fell into. It was not by design. I think I wanted to be a bus driver first. I think that was my first passion of being a bus driver. I thought it was the coolest thing.
We were almost same. I thought of becoming a pilot.
Of a pilot.
Yeah, so 37,000 feet. You're driving it on the road.
Yeah, I was driving it on the floor. I don't think I knew how the first flight I took in my life, I was 24. So
I was around 26.
26, yeah. So I think I didn't even dream of planes then. So I thought of bus driver. Then I thought of being a police officer because I found that cool. Maybe I probably would have seen an action film with a police officer. Then you wanted to be a cricketer at some point. But when I was doing
cricket,
I would play a lot of cricket in school.
All-rounder or fast bowler?
I was a terrible fielder.
But I was a very good fielder.
He was a very good fielder.
Covered and mid-wicket.
I think I was too lazy to field, like to chase the ball and stuff. So I'd always field close, never near the boundary. But I would bat and ball. For
opening, pace bowler.
Yeah, I would open bowling. Batting, I would do it like 3-4 down.
So like every Indian kid of your age, you wanted to play.
Everybody wants to be a cricketer. Like you would be walking in hostel just to go eat food, and everyone is walking by doing one action of bowling and stuff. But when I was doing my undergraduation, I think that's when I didn't even know what I wanted to do post the 10th. I just knew that I didn't like science because in 10th I didn't like physics at all. It just didn't make sense to me, even though it's the most practical thing.
So actually, you say it right.
Yeah.
Something which follows the rule always.
Yeah, physics. Yeah, correct. Yeah, true. I didn't think of it that way, but I guess it just didn't match me in physics. So I preferred commerce. Marketing, economics, these things made more sense to my brain. So I chose to do MAE. So usually when you have parents who are very well educated, they know that this is good. This stream has opportunities for
let
the
me
kid.
tell you, sometimes it also
Backfires because they pressure you into doing
to a particular direction.
Yeah,
absolutely.
True, because my parents never did that. They always let me pick what I wanted to do and they were ready to just back me in what I wanted to do. So I did BCom, but when I was doing BCom, I found it too easy and I didn't go to college much. I would just stay at home, be watching TV because I knew if I studied for a month before exams.
You remind me of my son.
Yeah.
I'm sure that someday he will also make it.
Why? He doesn't go to school, but he gets good grades.
No, he doesn't care about grades.
He doesn't care about grades. I would manage. Oh, your son was the artist. No?
Yeah. He's still
crazy. Your son's art I've seen. It's not. He's super talented, so we should let him do his thing.
Let him be.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that he has to do is stay away from me.
Yeah. I think you should spend more time with me. But around then, I had a confrontation with my dad. So money was hard to come by. And my dad found me at home all this time. And one day he came and told me, don't waste my money. If you don't want to go to college, it's already hard to pay the rent and pay the gas cylinder and electricity. And if you don't want to go to college, why am I working this hard to pay that? Like, don't go. Don't waste my money if you're not going to do anything of it. It was like there's some little land in the village. Go and do farming. At least you'll contribute something to the house.
How old are you then?
I was 18, 19. I was 18, 19.
The most difficult age.
Yeah. And he would talk to me about how abroad in the West, kids after 18, they're independent. And then he would tell me, now we have turned 18. So now you need to start contributing to the house's rent and stuff. You need to start working, find a part-time job.
And how did you react to that?
I was pissed. I was so angry because I was just like, you could see your friends have much more than you. Your friends weren't, they could go on holidays, which you didn't. They had a bike or a car, which you didn't. I was like, I'm already not asking much. And then you talk to me like this. And I was also, you're teenager fueled, like your hormones and you're angry. And but I had a very friendly, but my dad was really strict, that relationship we had. So I told him, Chal, I want to be an actor. I want to go to like Lee Strasberg or NYFA. You can't afford it. So you don't talk to me. When you can afford it, you ask me what I want to do. I'll do that. I want to be an actor. If you
you told it back to your father?
I told it back to him because he was like, if you want to be a cook, go be a cook. If you want to go farming, do farming.
While your father wasn't completely illogical, but you had a point too. That, okay, fine, I want to go and learn acting. Can you afford that? So you're making adjustments too as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, it was my immediate reaction. And what my dad did after that was a week later, it was a Saturday. He came back home in the night and he said, be ready by 6 a.m. tomorrow. We need to go. And I was like, what's happening? He was like, be ready. We are going to meet an acting coach. And then I was ready and nervous and excited. Early in the morning, he took me this very old school orthodox theater place in a place called Himayatnagar, Hyderabad, where the instructor was super strict. He was like psychotically strict. And he was like, this is the guy who's correct for you. Maybe Lee Strasberg would have cost him like a couple of lakhs, a lot actually, expensive. But this was like a 20,000 program. And my dad bargained with him that I'll pay you 10 now, 10 program ke baad pay karunga. And he put me there. And that place kind of made me find my love for acting. At different points, it was different reasons, my love for acting. At some point, it was just getting some sort of acknowledgement. When you perform, everyone stands and claps for you. it feels really nice. At some point, it was having friends. You made a new bunch of friends. At some points, it was attention. You were getting female attention, which feels really nice as a kid growing up. And then eventually, at some point, it became about acting itself.
Understood.
And so this was kind of...
What I take from here is that, almost a similar story that I, as a father, almost enacted with my son, but I was a little more lenient when he wanted to drop out when he was in class 11 because he's an artist. I could not find out a reason that I should force him to go to school and learn calculus. I mean, that will never be applied to his art. So I let him be. I let him drop out of the school. But yet there are differences of opinion, which I believe that every father will have with his 18-year-old son, 19-year-old son. It's a great message that there's a mind on the other side too. And that mind is independent. So,
but I still think like I learned a lot by just sitting. You might agree with your father or not agree, but just the experience they have on you in terms of life and pitfalls and how the world works in general. We are still innocent and we feel like we know everything. But when I would sit with my dad and the things he would talk to me, I would just listen. I would not like it because every day I had to sit for like 1-2 hours and just listen to him talk. But I learned a lot from him. It's perspective that I use till date and it shaped me as a person.
So you're a little early. Then you heard about this saying that by the time the son realizes his dad was right, he has a son who thinks his dad is wrong. So you now have realized that your dad was right before you had it. Now you have a son.
Yeah, I always listen. to
that's
everyone.
A great thing. I mean, listen to everything, do whatever you want.
If you're a fighter, what am I?
So now, how did Liger happen? Who initiated?
When I look back at my trajectory now, I see that a lot of these films came to me. Like Liger was a film that I wasn't pursuing, the director wasn't pursuing. A lot of small incidents forced us together. And Liger is a script that he's had since like 8 years. And it's gone to several actors who have chosen not to do it. And then he sat down with me and he told me the script because situations had brought us face to face. And I loved it. And suddenly I moved everything that I had planned to do to bring this new thing, something that was thrown at something that suddenly came up. And today it's the biggest film in my career.
You went on a fitness overdrive during pandemic, right? Was it you were preparing for Liger or Liger happened before that? I mean, the planning had happened before that?
Yeah, I'd heard the script in August 2019, I think. I was shooting my previous film still when I heard the script. And as soon as I heard the script, I knew the potential.
Who read the script out to you?
The director, Puri Jagannath.
Puriji.
Puri sir had called me over.
He makes it like I'm seeing the scenes in front of you. That script reading.
He gives a great narration. And it's just a half an hour, 40-minute narration. He gives you a dialogue narration of the film. You can see the film. And immediately I knew that this is what I was looking for and this is what I want to do and felt most excited by. And I had a visual of how I wanted Liger to be, how I wanted the character to look. I was on my way back post-dinner. It was a dinner narration. I was in the car and I was already calling my trainer and saying, send me a diet. We are changing body. I had sent him a reference image of a fighter that I liked. His look, his aesthetic look. I was like, this is what we want to achieve. The next day, I was on a diet. I was working out. I started growing my hair. Yeah, the next day I started because I knew I didn't have sufficient time. And I knew it was the first time I was doing this with my body. I've never been someone who's been very regular to the gym or has had like I've always been lean athletic, but never
you
a fighter physique.
So how long did it take, this physical preparation?
My original thought was that I could do it in 2 months because on YouTube, I've seen so many videos of a 60-day transformation. And I know that I'm extremely disciplined. I knew myself, so I knew I would stick to the diet. I knew I would do more than normal. I would work out twice a day. And I knew that by end of 60 days, I should achieve this. And I started with that perspective, but 60 days later, I was 10% where I wanted to be. It's not possible. Like in 60 days, it doesn't happen.
See, when? So whether was not the question. It didn't happen in 2 months, but you made it happen.
It took me 1.5 years.
And look at this, brings my focus to Providence once. The whole world actually connived to help you. The pandemic lockdown happened, and all you could do is exercise and get back to get into the shape that you want.
That time was blessing in disguise. And I had to just exploit it and use it, make the most use of that time. So initially, as soon as my body wasn't ready, but you had to shoot. The movie business it's a business. You have to. I can't just say. I couldn't just make them wait 1.5 years till my body was ready, because there's technicians, there's actors. So I asked them to plan the shoot in such a way that you could start with bits where I was fully covered and never saw my body.
Oh, brilliant. You suggested that.
Yeah. I told them, please start it with this because I'm not happy. I need to... They were like, no, it's okay. We'll shoot it. We'll light it. You're already in decent shape. But I need to believe that I'm a fighter. I need to feel like a fighter to be able to pull off the performance that I did for the film. And I don't like half measures. For me, it's about going all out. So then we planned it to start with scenes where I was fully clothed, and I asked them to put towards the fag end the bare body things. And then the pandemic happened, and 1.5 years later, I achieved what I wanted.
So, did it work like this? Some of the actors, I mean, if I refer to some of the Hollywood actors, when I saw them, let's say Sidney Poitier or Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Russell Crowe, when I, so when I see them, I never felt that I'm watching a character. I always feel that I'm seeing the character. Mm-hmm. They're not the actor. Mm. I mean, whichever role they perform, they get into the character in such a way, they become the character. Mm. So you put this extra effort on your part so that you become the character in Liger. So no compromise, that cover clothes, take a different shot so that your six packs or your chiseled body doesn't show. You wanted to make sure that you actually become Liger.
Yeah, it had to be. It's all or nothing. It had to be. It had to be everything. Yeah.
Very nice. So is it your story too? Is it an underdog story?
I connected with Liger a lot. I connected with the things he says. Those are things that I said in my life. I connected with him a lot. It's about a boy who comes from a small town and wants to shake the country and wants to make a huge name for himself. And there's a line in the film that I grew up on, which goes like, "Aag hai andar, duniya ko aag laga denge." Sabki
so you could relate to this role.
Very much so.
Excellent. There's another person making a Bollywood debut along with you in this film.
Mr. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Was he good enough?
He's legendary.
Will he give you a run for your money as a debutant?
He is. He's like really good. It was a dream to have him.
You got a few under his chin too?
Yeah. He landed one solid one on my chin. He landed.
He didn't give it back.
I didn't. I was very careful and respectful about the man because...
Is this big build or as your height only?
Once you call action, for me, if you're Mike Tyson or if you're anybody, you're the character I'm playing. If you're my dad, I treat you as my dad. First day I was chill. I came to shoot. We were all well prepared about the shoot. And suddenly I could see my team. I could see that there was some confusion and some panic. And I was like, what's happening? And they were like, they're not finding shoes for Mike Tyson. And I said, the schedule is coming since a month. Why don't you have his shoes? This is ridiculous. And they said that his shoes were, I have big feet and I'm a size 10. 10. They said Mike Tyson was size 16 or something. I was like, size 16? Who is this person? And then he comes on set and you can see him strut. And I was like, okay, Mike Tyson is actually here. Because till I saw him, I used to ask my director that, are you sure he's coming? Are you sure that Mike Tyson is going to come? What if he doesn't come? What do? We are all here in the US, in Vegas, waiting for him.
But you had enough to do if he didn't come.
Yeah,
you would have had enough to do if he didn't come.
Yeah,
in Vegas.
But he was I would have had other things, but not get my job done. But he came, and then you could see his neck is 3 times, his neck will be 3 times your neck.
I'm not much of a reference.
Yeah, but his neck is like 3 times mine. It's just like a thick neck. And when he shakes your hand, his wrist is like 2.5 times my wrist. And every time I would notice one of his physical characteristic, I used to be like, I'm fighting him. Even if by mistake something lands, I don't want this situation, because I've shot so many fights in the film in Liger, and I've been hit so many times by fighters, because it happens when you're shooting so many fight sequences, you get hit a lot. I've had to call off shoots. I've had my leg go limp.
So you had a back sprain also during this shoot? No.
Yeah, it was something I picked up towards the end of this film that I'm still carrying right now. And I'll need like 4 or 5 months to sort it out. But that was one time I felt scared about going into fights with him, because he's an actual fighter.
Like he's not an actor.
He's not an actor.
Where to land his punch.
Yeah, he's trained to knock you out. He's not trained to just miss and make it look like he knocked you out. So I hoped his instincts didn't come to play. But he was the sweetest. He's very scary. You know that he can explode at any time, but if he likes you, he's all love. He's like one teddy bear. So he's like a unique person. I've never met another person like him.
Really?
Yeah, he's extremely unique.
So in Telugu film, you were an outsider, right?
Yeah.
But in Bollywood, you are straight into the K camp.
Yeah.
Right? So Karan's camp. So who charmed whom between you and Karan?
I think Karan...
How did Karan come into your life?
So Karan was somebody who saw, like many, who saw Arjun Reddy and appreciated it. And when I was in Bombay once, I happened to meet him, and he expressed his love for Arjun Reddy and how I performed. And then he started following my work after that. So he really liked Dear Comrade and wanted to remake it in Hindi. He loved Geeta Govindam.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been following my trajectory as an actor and stayed in touch. And he told me that, whenever it is that you want to do a Hindi film, know that I'm there to be able to, like, I could help producing it, or if you have any idea that you want to bring it here. He's been the warmest person. My first guy I knew in Bombay, which was an alien city to me. So when I heard Liger, I took it to him. And I told him that there's this script that we want to make for the country. The Telugu part we know how to handle. The Hindi, you need to tell us how to do it. And he heard the script, and he immediately came on board. And he's the guy who got Bahubali to the country. Like if Karan wasn't there, maybe Bahubali would have remained a southern film or a Telugu film. So he released it, and the whole country. Now we all know that we can make films for India, and he was the perfect person to take a film for India.
So from real life to real life, Vijay, there's a very unique mix that I see about you. You are a fighter, not only on screen, the way you described, we'll come to that a little later, from your childhood. You fought your way up. But you have a serenity about you. You have a non-violent exterior. You have a sagey look. So who is real Vijay Deverakonda? Looking at you or speaking to you, if anybody is watching this interview, this Vijay will transform into Liger on screen. Very difficult. I possibly exhibit more sort of an aggression on my face than you do. You have a calmness about you. So who is real Vijay?
I've tried to understand it myself, like about who I am. I'm not very sure about who I am, honestly.
Oh, you have really, you have given the real answer, which most people are very scared to give that real answer.
Yeah.
Very few of us are really sure about who we are.
I'm really not sure about who I am, but I think that from having conversation with friends and people and I get asked so much about who I am, that I'm forced to think about it and come up with an answer. And when I'm alone in bed, you are also introspecting your journey, your life, who you are. And I've realized that it's come down to two things. It's come down to a small boy who at age 6 was put in an ashram away from his parents. So when I came out at age 16, I think these formative years were very important in the person I am today, in how I think, and like my core in some sort of way. When I came out at age 16 to Hyderabad, suddenly a bustling city, and I was in a young college, you realize that the world was very different. It was a whole new world. You weren't treated with the same kind of kindness and love that you were treated in school. There, everyone was family. Here, you got into a bus and no one would even make way for you to get off the bus when it was your stop. And suddenly you had to adapt. I was like, I can't live like this naive, innocent boy. I will not survive in this world. And I decided that I needed to change. I decided that I wanted to be good in this world as well. I wanted to be king in this world.
Better
as well.
than the rest.
Yeah.
To get your space here. You have to find your way out from the bus. Nobody would give you that.
I had to find my place in the world, and I had to find respect. And that's when some sort of switch happened in the kind of person I was.
Excellent. It's a story to be told to people, Vijay. Glad that we're sitting and having this discussion. You faced the camera as a child actor?
Briefly, like for a couple of days.
So how did your schoolmates, which standard were you then?
So basically there was, so I grew up in this ashram. There was a team who was making a television series on Swami. We call him Swami. So they were making a television series, and for the little kids in the film, they came to school to pick up kids to fit in these roles. Free casting. So they would come to each class and make like 10, 12 boys stand up and take them. I was one of the boy they picked, and then for 10 days, you got to go and shoot. I had no idea what I was doing. It was just fun time to be away from hostel and be outside amongst the trees with your friends.
You liked the experience?
No, it was very scary because when they gave you a dialogue, you were just like, you had to stand up and they would give you a point to look and you had to say it. So I was terrible at it.
Metamorphosis. That's what called transformation from there to today.
Yeah, it's huge.
So, if I ask you about your inspiration, what I get to understand that possibly the inspiration came from within, that you realized that you have to make it happen in this dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
And from there, you drew your inspiration, right? Is there anybody who inspired, any particular person who's your friend who still inspires you, is still the shoulder where you want to rest your head on when things are not right?
Lots of people have been kind and have been...
Any person who's particularly very close to you, you feel, like an alter ego who inspires you, guides you?
There are a bunch of people that I talk to just to hear an opinion and stuff. There are 2-3 people in my life who are away from the film industry. One is my dad, of course, and 2 are relationships that I've had in my life who've played a very big role in my life. But I would say the only motivation and inspiration that drove me to who I am today has very clearly been wanting to change my life. It's been a want for money. You knew that somehow money is the center of this world, and it was a fight for respect. You wanted to be respected, and you wanted comfort for your family. Like it wasn't nice to see your parents fight so hard. So it was mainly like money, respect, and just making a name for yourself.
It's one and the same. I think money, unfortunately, is one of the measures by which your achievement is always measured by. Be it you're in a performing arts or in a corporate world. That is one indicator which decides how successful you are. So money is not a bad word either, according to me in today's world. And what you told about your dad briefly, that gives me hope that I hope someday my son come back and say that you're the one I like to talk to, and here you are. I'm really living for that day. So your parents used to call you Rowdy, did they?
Yeah, sometimes when I would just not listen and not follow what was asked of me.
Was that sometimes?
Yeah, it's always been it's always been the case in some sort of way. But they would always let me be, as long as there was only one rule: was there is consequences to every action that you do, and if you are capable of handling these consequences, then
such clearly they put it. Truly, the philosophy. There is a consequence for anything that you do. And you should be well equipped enough to deal with the consequence. Then you're on your own in this world.
So as long as you're ready to face the consequences of your action,
your fashion brand is called Rowdy.
Yeah, it is. Really.
So are you taking it seriously?
Right now, I've just not been able to. I've taken on too much in life, but I hope to put some time into it and want to see it be big.
Right. Well, how do you deal with success and failure? Very important, because I I think that you actually have a lot to say, which will inspire the young generations.
I think the first thing is to clearly know what you want in life. Only when you have like a end goal do you know you can take any path to it, but you need to have that end goal. And there was something, I think I would read a lot of, my dad told me something in my life, early in my life, that he was like, you learn a lot from life by experiencing. Like you put your finger in the fire, you learn that it will burn and then you won't do it again. It was like, one way is to experience everything and learn from it. The other way is to read books.
Or learn from others.
Learn from others' experiences.
Your parents told you, if you put your finger, it'll burn.
So then you don't have to do this whole journey. And so you learn quicker. So I would read a lot of books. And one thing that really worked for me, that made sense to me, was that if you want to be something, there's a saying that a day is your life in miniature. So whatever you do every day, when you put it all together, will become your life. So if I'm going to the gym every day for an hour, suddenly you put 600 of these days together, you'll suddenly have a body. And when you put all these together, suddenly it turns out to be something big. Success, for me, I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about it, because everyone in my life tells me that I need to start learning to enjoy success, which I don't seem to do. Success is more a relief for me.
It's temporary. It's part of the journey.
It's temporary for sure. And I just feel relief, like, okay, this is done. Now
so it doesn't go into your head.
I would like to enjoy it. If you leave it to me, I would like to feel over the top and like blow champagne and but somehow it just feels relieving at most. And sometimes when my film really does well, I wake up that morning and I see that people are going wild over it. I've had this happen twice. The day Arjun Reddy released, the day Geeta Govindam released, I woke up morning, looked at the phone, and overwhelming messages of love, film is a hit, and I would find myself tearing up. Failure is something that I'm very critical about myself and failure. And any failure, you have to learn from and correct it just so that you don't do it again. So who I am today is a lot of learnings from mistakes I've done.
Success makes you take a pause. It makes you enter your system. And then you take a fresh card. That's not the end of the world. That's not what you set out to do. It's just part of the journey. And failure is something that you look back, take your lessons, wipe it out, move forward. Very copybookish. Your appeal is quite universal. And I've seen elderly Telugu people talking about you with a lot of fondness. I mean, that's very, very unique and quite rare. I mean, I've not seen such universal appeal in any actor so far. They all mostly cater to a certain group of audience, but which is not the case for you. Do you know that? Do you? Did you work towards it?
No, I've actually done nothing for this, other than I don't know. I'm still not fully aware that this exists. I keep telling myself, let's see. I don't know. Maybe it's just what people are feeling. People are all showing you love right now. So maybe it's something they're feeling. I don't know if it's real. It's there. But over the last 1 month traveling around the country, the love that I've got from everywhere has really... I've every day gone to bed wondering, why is this happening? Who are these people? Why are they showing me so much love? So it's a lot of very conflicting, confusing thoughts, but it's a blessing. All I've done is like follow, I had
just
a dream.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes some controversies broke out around you. You meant good, but it just turned out to be something wrong. And I read somewhere that you attended a premiere in your chappal. 200 rupees chappal, wearing a chappal. So those are strategic move, thought through, or you just went with the moment?
It's an instinct.
Just went to the moment.
You feel something inside and you do it, and that's all I do. And you don't know the reaction that will come. You could either be mocked and abused for it, or you could be loved for it, or there could be no reaction. But the point is that I wanted to do it, and I will do it.
Quite with the flow. That also I've seen that in middle of a script reading, I saw you doing push-ups. there in Hyderabad when we were very serious, intense moment. Puriji was describing, took a break for a glass of water, and you did your push-up. While you're spontaneous, while you're quite going with the flow, but somehow I feel, I deal with in a corporate environment, we call strategy. We prepare ourselves for future. Every move that we take, we know that what could be the reactions, pluses, minuses. Whenever I speak to you, Vijay, I see that you speak with a purpose. I mean, there's a strategic mind at work. I mean, you're not ever misdirected, but you're a strategist at work. Are you aware of it? That's my feeling, what I get to know about you from outside.
Probably because I know what I want to do. I think it's just like my brain works a particular way.
I'll tell you the way. Your brain works in a very logical manner. Very logical manner. Everything that you say, it's backed by a logic and pretty clear, lucid logic. I mean, there's no ambiguity in the logic. So it works naturally. So if you haven't gone through any formal education like an engineering or MBA, having gone through both of them, I must tell you that the biggest education that one can get and can apply is the subject is common sense. So everything emanates from common sense. That much I tell you. But you are quite a logical mind, very logical. So again, natural Vijay working for you, I'm sure will work for you. Now, how would you focus how would you divide your focus between Bollywood and Tollywood? How much will you be seen around in Bollywood?
See, for me, I just look at it as telling stories. If I'm telling it here or telling it there.
So Bollywood particularly is not a focus for you?
India is a focus for me.
India is a focus for you.
I'm not. Why do I restrict myself to Bollywood or Tollywood? The point is you connect with the country.
Film. Language doesn't make sense.
If the country is ready to receive it, you should tell stories to the country. I think I don't even understand these terms Bollywood and Tollywood truly because not everyone in Bollywood is like one group of people.
What I meant by Hindi? Not really Bollywood.
Just Hindi language.
Hindi and Telugu.
No, the idea is to do all 5 major languages. Hopefully, imagine there's a day where Bhojpuri, Bengali and Marathi. You should
do a Bengali film, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It'll be a rage if you do it.
Yeah.
With the serenity, calmness, versatility, very intelligent eyes, you would fit into a Bengali role very smoothly.
Yeah, I would love to get my films into all the regional
let's do
languages.
One Bengali film.
Bengali film. Yeah. So when there are people to watch it, the idea is to reach out to them and give them a memorable film.
So does it ever cross your mind to do something in Hollywood?
That's something that I've never thought of. It's not excited me because I feel like I'm not excited by the content they write for Indian actors.
Absolutely. Again, bang on, Vijay. Absolutely. The kind of role they perceive for Indians, I think there's a messaging in it always.
Yeah.
That it's not the right one. It's not the best one that could have happened to the Indians.
But it's going to change very soon.
Should be.
I think in I'd give it around 3 to 5 years. I think there's going to be a very big change in how they cast Indian actors.
You have this apparel brand. You are into philanthropy. You are into fan club. You do a lot of stuff for young kids, young generation. So there's a lot on your plate that I see. Are you planning to sort of focusing on something or pick and choose some of these and get along with that or go along with that or really keep trying everything and see that what works?
I've been somebody who works on excitement a lot. So if something excites me, I jump in. I don't even think of how will I do this? Will I be able to do this? I'm just like, let's do it. We'll figure it out on the way, how we execute this. Like be part of, when every generation growing up, you have some people that lives are hard for everyone. We're all dealing with some battles in our life, personal, financial, emotional. You look to cricket for some sort of entertainment. You look to some actors for some sort of, some breakaway from your daily life. And to those people, if I can give them a memorable film or a memorable moment where you just talk to them or share something with them. So most of the things I do, like my ice cream truck or the things I do when I do a Devara Santa or just random giveaways. It's just me feeling like when I was growing up, there were some actors that I liked. If suddenly one day they said, tell me what you want, I'll give it to you, I would have, even the thought that it was possible would have made me so happy and would have given me some sort of joy. So I feel like I would have enjoyed it. So let's do it for these guys who are, and in some way I want them to be part of my journey always.
How long are you going to continue with the status of one of the most eligible bachelors of our country? I'm not saying that you need to change it. I'm just
Would you like me to be married soon?
No.
As in
If you ask for my personal...
You'll say don't marry.
I would say no, you can do without it.
But I definitely want to be married and have kids. However that experience might be, I think it's something I do want to experience it at a point in my life. I just need to feel responsible enough to take on that, because it's another person's life completely that is joined with yours. So when you're ready for that and to be able to nurture that.
You as an actor, you definitely don't get to choose the script that you want. Scripts come to you.
Yeah.
But if you get into production, there you will start with the script, right? You will try to do kind of movies that you would like to do, not as an actor, maybe somebody who is a producer or a director if you come behind the camera at some point in time. So would you be conscious about choosing subjects of your films when you start producing them on a serious note?
Each of us react differently to the same content.
Absolutely.
So I think the social structure like education, family, upbringing, these play a bigger role in how these kids are going to react to the movie. Like what are they picking as inspiration? Because like imagine when I came to Hyderabad, we were a group of 60 kids in my class. A lot of kids started to smoke because they saw their favorite actor smoke. But I didn't. I was looking at, it's so cool to be on screen and to be able to do these things.
But let me tell you, Vijay, there's only one merit to become Vijay Deverakonda. The rest of them are smoking still.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like movies inspired me in a different way. It inspired someone else in a different way.
So I'm sure that we will have another chat in Duologue, Vijay. Why another? Many more chats in Duologue. Every time you hit a milestone, we would come back and have a discussion. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much, Barun. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you always.